You have one wild and precious life. Not a rehearsal, not a draft, not a stretch of time you get to spend twice. One life, and it started running the moment you opened your eyes this morning. Most days that fact stays buried under the noise of the first hour. The phone, the notifications, the reflex to check before you've even decided who you want to be today. This is about what happens when you catch the noise before it catches you. There is a question the poet Mary Oliver left behind, and it has outlived almost every self-help slogan written in the decades since. In The Summer Day, published in 1990, she watched a grasshopper for a while, thought about her own mortality, and then asked the reader directly, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" It is not a gentle question. It is aimed. And the reason it still lands, more than 30 years later, is that almost nobody answers it before 9 a.m. They answer it, if at all, at the end of the day, when the day has already spent them. Shetty, a former monk who spent 3 years in an ashram before writing Think Like a Monk, built a framework around answering that question early instead of late. He calls the first minutes of the day the most important minutes you have, because they set the frame every other minute has to fit into. In his words, the way we wake up in the morning and the first thing we do sets the tone for our entire day. Notice what he is not saying. He is not saying meditate for an hour or read 40 pages before breakfast. He is saying the first thing, whatever it is, becomes the lens for everything after it. If the first thing is reactive, the day is reactive. If the first thing is chosen, the day has a chance to be chosen too. Put those two ideas next to each other, and you get the shape of this morning. Oliver's question is the why, the reminder that the life being spent is the only one you get, so the spending had better be on purpose. Shetty's framework is the how, the discipline of deciding the tone before the world decides it for you. A monk who left the monastery and a poet who watched a grasshopper are, from very different directions, pointing at the same door. The one that opens the instant you wake up before anyone else has a claim on your attention. Most mornings, that door gets handed away for free. Not stolen, handed away voluntarily to a screen that was never asked what it wanted from you because it doesn't need to ask. It just waits. The alternative habit is simple. A few minutes of silence or a single clear intention, claimed before the noise gets a vote. Thankfulness for what is already true. Insight into what actually matters today. Nothing extravagant. Just first, think about what this actually looks like for someone with real responsibility. An executive who wakes up and opens her inbox before she's had 30 seconds of her own thought has, without noticing, handed the first decision of her day to whoever emailed her at 5 a.m. Her calendar starts reacting before she's chosen anything. A founder who checks the metrics dashboard the second his eyes open has let a number, not a decision, set the emotional register for the next 12 hours. Neither of them is lazy. Both of them just let the door open the wrong direction first. The fix is not more discipline later in the day. By then the tone is already set. The fix is a few minutes, claimed on purpose, before the inbox and the dashboard get their turn. So consider the order of operations. Not what you do today. You'll figure that out as it comes. But what you let touch you first. The mind at dawn is unusually honest and unusually impressionable, both at once, which is exactly why it matters what gets to it before anything else does. Fill it with someone else's noise, and you spend the day reacting to a script you didn't write. Fill it, even briefly, with your own intention, and the rest of the day has something to organize itself around. This is not about becoming a monk. It is about borrowing one habit from people who thought harder than most of us do about how a day actually begins. Ask Oliver's question, even silently, even for 10 seconds. What do you plan to do with this one? Then decide the tone yourself before the feed decides it for you. You're not owed a second version of this morning. This is the one you have. Spend the first few minutes of it like you mean it, and the rest of the day tend to follow. Notice, too, that this costs almost nothing. It does not require a retreat, a subscription, or 45 minutes you don't have. It requires a decision that takes less time than unlocking your phone. What I want to be true about how I entered this day. Answer it before the inbox answers it for you. And the whole day inherits a slightly different starting condition, chosen instead of default. So claim the first minutes before anything else claims them. I ask what I plan to do with this one wild and precious life before I ask what anyone else needs from me. I choose the first thing I do this morning instead of letting the first notification choose it for me. I treat the tone of my morning as something I set, not something that happens to me. I give the first minutes to intention and let the rest of the day organize around it. I remember this life is not a rehearsal, and I stop spending its opening minutes like it were one. That is the monk-minded dawn, not a ritual you need incense for, just an order of operations. Ask the question first. Set the tone first. Let the world wait its turn. If that shifted something for you, stay with this channel, where every morning is a chance to meet the day awake instead of behind it. And before you go, what is the first thing you actually plan to do with today? Write it below. I read each one. Begin disciplined. End reflective. Now rise.